So in this, we'll go through the introduction to the sorting. The next topic that we are going to study is sorting. Sorting is the way of arranging elements in ascending or descending order. So the sorting is the way of arranging the elements in the ascending or descending order. This sorting can be divided into two categories. Whatever the algorithms that we study can be divided into two categories: linear sorting techniques, and another is divide and conquer methods. CON conquer, QURE, or we can say simply DC method, divide and conquer methods. So, so linear sorting or divide and conquer methods. So linear sorting method is or some, for example, selection sort or bubble sort, insertion sort. So these are the various other sorting techniques which are linear sorting techniques. In the divide and conquer method, quick sort, merge sort, these are the divide and conquer methods. Along with sorting, there is a technique called searching. So basically, searching means is the process of identifying an element in the given list of elements. In order to perform searching, if the list is or if the array is sorted, then it is very easy to identify the element. The reason is, for example, you in your study room you have not arranged the books properly. The books are in zigzag fashion. If I ask you to identify a book from that room, then it will take a long time for identifying where the book is. If you might have arranged all the books in the ascending order or descending order or in some lexicographic order, then it is very easy for you to identify the book. So in the same way, in the library also, whenever you go there, if you want to search for a book, then if you know the classification number, directly you can go to the classification number and you can pick. Or alphabetically, in alphabetical order also, you can go and search the book. So searching will become very easy once you have sorted the elements. So sorting is the first step that we should learn. Then we can move on to the searching. In searching, various searching techniques are there. Like here divide and conquer methods are there, like binary search. Okay, and there exist some other searching techniques in a linear fashion also, which are called interpolation search and some other searching techniques are also there. We are going to see these searching techniques once we study the sorting techniques. So sorting techniques in which linear sorting means, here the name itself telling you that linear. That means the sorting process will go in a linear fashion. Okay, where in case of divide and conquer means the list of elements were divided into two or more sub elements. Then the sorting will be performed on those sub elements, so that ultimately at the end of several iterations, then the list will become the sorted list. This is what the basic idea of divide and conquer. So in general, all these sorting techniques, linear sorting techniques, will be having a similar kind of worst case time complexity, such as order of n square. Because we are going to use two for loops in that, in most of the linear sorting techniques. Then in the where in case of divide and conquer methods, the most of the time complexity in the worst case is order of n log n. So here we are going to divide the entire array into two or more sub elements or subgroups, and we are going to divide. We are going to perform the sorting on individual subgroups. So once the sorting is done, then these sorted subgroups will be merged together to form the complete uh, sorted list. This is what the basic idea of the sorting techniques that are available. So in this lecture, we are going to see the quick sort and merge sort. So here I am going to give you one URL. This URL you can also try on your browser, in which you will find the animations for various sorting and searching algorithms. So this particular website is giving you the animations for basic fundamentals, simple sorting, selection sort, bubble sort, insertion sort, quick sort, merge sort, heap sort, and various algorithm design techniques such as dynamic programming, backtracking, dynamic data structures, heap data structures, tree data structures, hashing, and all many other things like spanning trees, graph algorithms, etc. So you may remember, or you may keep this particular URL in the bookmark, so that wherever the corresponding topic comes, and I will play those animations, so that it is very easy for you to identify or easy to remember the algorithm how and its functionality. Let us see the quicksort procedure. Quicksort is a divide and conquer sorting algorithm. It has order of n log n time complexity in the average case. But in the worst case, that means in the worst case, in the sense here the worst case or best case or average case, depending upon the input that you are supplying to the algorithm. That means here in the best case, if the input array or input elements are not in, are almost in the sorted order, maybe few elements are there which are not in sorted order, then such case is said to be best case. Average case is one that in which half or maybe 60% of the elements are in sorted order, and 40% of the elements are not in sorted order. Then it is said to be average case. In the worst case, 90% of the elements are not in sorted order, or 90 or more percent of the elements in the given list or given an array are not in sorted order. Then in such cases, it is said to be worst case. So quicksort in the worst case will behave as the linear sorting techniques only. So we have seen linear sorting techniques are having the time complexity as the order of n square, where in case of if the quicksort is having the input in the average case, then it may give you the time complexity as order of n log n. It is in general, if I ask you to identify or if I ask you to arrange some group of people in the ascending order of their height, so what you do is you will consider one person as the biggest person or longest person, and you will compare remaining people with that person, and you will try to arrange the one who are having less than that person, or the height less than that person will be sent at left hand side, and the one who are having the height greater than the chosen person are sent at right side. So this is the general way of doing in the arranging of the heights of a person, heights of the group of people in the ascending order or descending order. So in the same way here also, the quicksort will start with choosing a pivot element. The pivot element may be chosen from anywhere in the given list. The sorting will be performed on the basis of pivot element. Several ways of choosing the pivot element are: Always pick the first element as the pivot. This is one option you can choose. Always pick the last element as pivot. That also you can do it. Pick a random element as a pivot. That also you can do it. Or pick median of the list of elements as a pivot. That also you can do it. The pivot choosing is completely user's choice. He may do in any way. Either he may pick the center element as the pivot element, or he may choose whatever the element that he wants as the pivot element. The key element or function in the quicksort is partitioning. So once the pivot element is chosen, we always compare the elements with the pivot element, and all the elements will be compared with the pivot element. If any element is less than the pivot element, then that element will be kept at the left side of the pivot, and if any element is greater than the pivot element, that will be placed at the right side of the pivot. So by the end of the iteration, the pivot element will become the middle element, and the elements which are less than the pivot will be at the left hand side, and the elements which are greater than the pivot will be at the right hand side. So this particular process will keep on repeating till the entire list will become sorted. So this is what the basic idea of the quicksort. The key element or functions in the quicksort is partitioning. It divides the given elements into two halves such that the elements has less than the pivot are at the left hand side, and the elements greater than the pivot are at the right side. Start traversing from the leftmost element and keep track of the index of the smaller element as I. If we find smaller element, we swap the current element with the A of I, otherwise ignore the element. That means how we will place the elements that are less than pivot at the left side and greater than pivot at the right side. That means whenever you are traversing the list, first you compare the first element with the pivot, and if you find if it is less than the pivot or greater than pivot, if it is less than pivot, you keep like that only. If it is greater than pivot, you just swap it. So swapping function you might have done, like int temp is equal to A is equal to B, and B is equal to temp. The temp that is swapping will take place there. So the swapping will be done so that in order to get the elements in the proper order, that is the elements that are less than pivot will be kept at the left side, and the elements that are greater than pivot will be placed at the right side. So this is a simple quicksort function. So before moving on to this function, first of all, we'll go for looking at the animation, how this particular quicksort will run. So here there exists a quicksort algorithm. So here pivot will be chosen. There are some list of elements are there. A of 0, A of 1, A of 2, A of 3, A of 4, A of 5, A of 6. And this is the quicksort algorithm in a brief way, in a pseudocode they have given. Here I is equal to beginning and j is equal to end. That means the index, starting index and ending index. Pivot is equal to a of I plus j by 2. That means they have taken exactly the middle element as the pivot element. While I less than j and while a of I is less than pivot, increase I. That means the pivot element, that a of I means the starting element is less than pivot. So no need to do, just to increase it. While a of j is greater than pivot, decrease the j. If I is less than or equal to j, then swap a of I and a of j. Then increase the index a and decrease the index j. So if beginning is less than j, that means if it is crossed, the index value is crossed the uh, beginning element, then reset the indexes. If I value is greater than, that means I means the starting value is greater than end, means that it is crossing the end point, then again reset this value, so that you are going to call the quicksort recursively to complete this particular sorting procedure. So this is what the basic pseudocode of the quicksort. Let will play this. So here pivot element is a of 3. Now the a of 3 is the a of 3, the pivot element is compared with uh, the top higher elements. So that means you are going to start with the beginning and ending, and you are supposed to compare a of I with the pivot element. If a of I is less than the pivot element, keep like that only. You increment the I value. Now the I value will become 0 to 1. Okay, and you should also compare the same with the J. J means here the end value. Okay, so if it is less than J, that is pivot element is less than J, then you keep it like that only. But if it is greater than J, then you are supposed to perform the swapping. So like that you keep on doing this, so that the finally the sorted list will come after performing several iterations. So this is what the simple idea of quicksort. Here the quicksort especially will perform the partitioning of the list. The partitioning means the partitioning will be done in the way like by choosing the pivot element. The left hand side of the element, left hand side of the pivot will be partitioned with the right hand side of the pivot. So that means here you are going to get the two sub arrays. So that is the reason partition. Whenever the partition was happened in a exact in the middle way, in exactly at the middle, then the time complexities will be chosen as the order of log n. Okay. So this is what the animation. Anyhow, I have provided this link on the link here. You can also go through that link and you can visualize this particular time complexity. Sorry, you can also visualize this particular working procedure of the algorithm. So this is the quicksort algorithm. Quicksort of int a, comma int a means here the array, int low, comma int high. If low is less than high, means low is less than high means low means is the lowest index of the array, and high is the highest index of the array. That means if you have been supplied with the array of 20 elements, 0 is the low and high is the 19. Okay. Now pi is the partition index. So here a of p is the pivot in the current place. So int pi is equal to partition of a comma low comma high. So here a comma low comma high means you may take the partition as low plus high by 2. That means 0 plus 19 by 2, maybe 9 or 10. Okay, 9 you may get it. So array of 9 may be considered as the pivot element. Then you may use the quicksort of a comma low comma pi minus 1, that is 9 minus 1, and quicksort of a comma pi plus 1 comma high. That means you can, once the partition was done, then the left partition uh, will be applied with further again quicksort. Right partition will be again further applied with the quicksort, and again the left partition will be divided into two. Again on the left partition's first part may be assigned again with the quicksort, and left partition's right side, right sub partition may be again allotted with the run with the quicksort. Like that you further keep on dividing till the single element is reached, and finally once the single element is reached, you you keep on performing the sorting, and if the element is less than pivot, you keep it like that. If the element is greater than pivot, then try to swap it so that final list will become the sorted list. And this is what the function for partitioning. Int partition of int a comma int low comma high, and here you are going to take the int pivot is equal to a of high. Here a of high means here we have declared we have made it as here partition of a comma low comma high. So here whatever is the high value is there, that high value will be the pivot element. That means here they may take the last element in the subpartition as the pivot. So int pivot of a comma a of high, int I is equal to low minus 1, that is index of the smallest element. So for I is equal for int j is equal to low, j less than high minus 1 and j plus plus, then this particular swapping will take place. Okay, if a of j is less than pivot, then I plus plus increment the small index, then swap this particular value. So here swapping is another helper function that we are supposed to write. So an example is like this: 38, 27, 43, 3, 9, 82, 10. So these are the elements in this array. Now let pivot is equal to 38. Here we have considered the first element in the list as the pivot element. So whenever we consider the pivot element, so we may consider the left and right. So L is equal to this immediate next value of the pivot element, and right R is equal to the last value of the elements, that is unsorted elements. Now first 27 is compared with 38, that is A of L is less than pivot. So since that 27 is less than 38, you increment the value of L, that is L plus plus. Now A of L is greater than pivot, that is 43 is less than 38. Sorry, 43 is greater than 38, and you also compare with the right hand side value. A of L is greater than pivot, and A of R, right hand side value, is less than pivot. So 10 is less than 38, but 43 is greater than 38. So what you are supposed to do is you are supposed to swap this right side value with the left side value. So whenever you swap the left side value with the right side value, then in the place of 43 you will get 10, and in place of 10 you will get 43. So in such a cases, whenever you place this particular 38 in middle, what will happen? Whatever the elements at the left hand side of the pivot are less than 38, and whatever the elements that are the right side of the pivot will be at the right side of the pivot, is at the right side of the pivot. So when this swapping will be happened, now compare L is less than 38, so move L forward, and since 43 is greater than 38, so move the R forward. 82 is greater than 38, you keep like that only, but 3 is less than 38, so you keep it like that only. Next L value will be incremented. 9 is less than 38, you keep it like that only, but here 82 is greater than 38, you keep it like that only. So whenever this incrementing of the L is taking place, sometimes L may cross R. So when L is crossing R, you reset the value. You reset the values to one position. So then whenever you are going to place this in one position, then what you are supposed to do is, when this particular 9, after this 9 only, this L is crossing the value of R. So in such a cases, this 38, what is the pivot element? You swap this 38 with 9 and 9 with 38. So 9 will come to the 38 position, 38 where the 38 is there, that is the pivot element, and pivot will come to the position of the 9. So whenever it comes, what will happen? So 9, 27, 10, 3. 9, 27, 10, 3. Okay, and 38. Next 82, 43. That means 38 is at the middle, and 9, 27, 10, 3. These are the elements which are less than 38 are at the left hand side, and 82 and 43, which are the elements that are greater than 38, are at the right side. Now with this, one iteration will be completed. Now you choose another pivot element. Keep on doing this till the entire list will become sorted. So this is one iteration of the quick sort. You can also do the several iterations of this particular quick. You are supposed to do several iterations for this quick sort in order to have the complete sorted array. So whenever these elements 38, 27, 43, 3, 9, 82, 10. So this is completely in unsorted order. That means here the input is in the worst case. That is, all the elements are completely in this unsorted order. So if half of the array is in sorted order, and half of the array is not in sorted order, then it is said to be average case. Okay, almost all the elements are in sorted order. Maybe one or two are not in sorted order. Then it is said to be best case. So like that, we are supposed to estimate the cases of the time complexity. In quicksort, in average case, the time complexity is order of n log n. In the worst case, the quicksort will behave exactly as linear sorting technique and will result into the time complexity order of n square. So now we'll try to implement this quicksort algorithm. So as it is, hash include so here we need to write a function. What are the different functions that are required? So here one is we require a quicksort function, void quicksort of so what are the things that we are supposed to include in this? First, an array and low and high value. Next, we need a swap. So swapping we require. Next, what are the other things required? We require a function called partition. We require partition function. So that partition function will take the array and high and low. So these are the three functions that are required. And void main. Now and we require a function for displaying of the array and size we require. So swap we are aware of how to do this. B. Just we can define this. So this is a simple swapping. Next, we need to have the quicksort procedure implementation. So how this particular quicksort implementation will be done? Void quicksort of int a, int low, int high. So now, how long we need to do this? If low is less than high, then what we are supposed to do is we need to partition. PI is the partition index. So we are supposed to choose a partition index. So PI is a partition index. So PI is equal to partition of. So what are the things we are supposed to pass into this? First is array. And next is low and high. This is the partition we have sent. Then repeatedly recursively call the quicksort of array. So we have to move from the low to partition -1. That is, we have partition exactly in middle. So partition -1, and another part is quicksort of array partition +1. Okay, partition +1 comma high. So again, what will happen whenever you call quicksort of a comma low comma pi, then again it will check whether the low is less than high or not. That means low is less than pi -1 or not. If low is less than pi -1, again this particular array subarray will be partitioned into two. Okay, and again this subarray will be partitioned into two. So now main thing is we are supposed to do for partition, int partition. So in this array, int low comma int high. So whenever we run this code, elements before quicksort 38, 27, 43, 3, 9, 8, 82 and 10. Then these are the elements after quicksort which are in sorted order 3, 9, 10, 27, 38, 43 and 82. So this is the way how the quicksort will function. Quicksort will majorly work on the partition. So first we'll give the lower index and the maximum number of elements -1. That means the last index. Then it will pass it to the quicksort function, and we'll check whether the 0 is less than the a size or not. That is the last index. If 0 is less than a size, then it will go for partitioning. How long it will partition? Till we get the pivot element. That is, pivot element should be middle, and the elements which are less than pivot element will be at the left side of the pivot, and the elements which are greater than pivot will be at the right side. That partition will be done here by choosing pivot as the last element, and I is equal to low -1. For j is equal to low, j less than or equal to high -1, j plus plus. If a of j is less than pivot, either you may say here less than or equal to also, because sometimes we may get duplicate elements also. So a of j is less than or equal to pivot and I plus plus. If it is less than equal to pivot, then just to swap the a of I with the a of j. So like that, keep on doing till it reaches high value. So once it reaches high value, there are no other elements to process. So that is the reason we need to place the pivot element in the exact position. So I is the one which will decide as where exactly the pivot to be set. So swap of ampersand a of I plus 1 comma ampersand a of I. So this swapping will be taken place. Since we have swapped it, so we should know at which position the pivot is there. So I plus 1 is the position where the pivot is available. So this will be returned. So the reason the pi value will become this position where the pivot is there. Now again perform the quicksort from low to pi minus 1 and from pi plus 1 to, that is the pivot element position plus 1 to high. So like that you keep on doing this in several iterations so that the final list will be in the sorted order. So that is the reason we have returned the I minus 1. So the code that what we have seen in the notes as it is I have typed here. The same code that is available in the notes that I have shown so far was typed here. So that is the reason we need to send this particular I plus 1 because it will indicate the position of the pivot. So this position of the pivot will help us to further partition the given array. Next, in order to display this array, so we have gone for display function in which you supply the array, and the number of elements, so that it will print the number of elements in the array. Then the same elements that are available in the nodes that I have presented, the same elements I have placed here, and to know what is the size of this array, a size is equal to size of a by size of a of 0. So it will be around 7 elements will be there. So elements before quicksort, just to display these elements, quicksort of a comma 0 comma a size minus 1. So here we are going to start with the index 0. A size minus means 7 minus 1, 6, 0 to 6 we need to print, or we need to use the indexing. So this will be passed to the quicksort and printf elements after quicksort to display this particular sorted list. Now we'll run the code to see the output. So here elements before quicksort, these are the elements that are before quicksort: 38, 27, 43, 3, 9, 82, 10. And the elements after quicksort are 3, 9, 10, 27, 38, 43, and 82. So we got the array in sorted order. So our quicksort algorithm is working fine, and our program is also working fine. You can download this code from the description section of this particular video.